Very good afternoon to all of you. So once again, I welcome you all for this today's new lecture on our subject industrial hydraulics and pneumatic. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the basics of pneumatics. Getting it? So we have discussed about the what is meant by pneumatics. Okay, just I will recap that the point which we have covered. So we have covered this basics of pneumatic. In that we have I have discussed what is meant by pneumatic, what is its definition. Then we have gone for the different components, the basic elements, or you can call it as a component which are required for the any pneumatic system. That also we have discussed. Then after that we have discussed the advantages, disadvantages, then limitations of the our pneumatic system over the hydraulic system. And in that only we have discussed that the answer of one question, that the question was what are the reasons for considering the use of pneumatic system instead of hydraulic system. So this point was is very important to while selecting the any one system, fluid power system from the your hydraulic or pneumatic one. Okay, so that reasons while considering the use of pneumatic system that we have discussed. Then also we have discussed about the some points that should be considered while selecting the hydraulic or pneumatic system. Okay, because we know that the applications of the pneumatic system and the applications of the hydraulic system, so somewhat applications are common to both the system. Getting it? So for any particular industrial application, if you have two system, one is the hydraulic system and pneumatic system, so out of that two you have to select any one best suitable system for your particular that industrial application. So while selection of the hydraulic or pneumatic system, which points we should consider, that also I have explained in the last lecture. And in the last lecture we have gone for the difference between hydraulic system and pneumatic system. Okay, and in that we have covered the applications of the pneumatic system also. Okay, now today we'll go for the next point, that is the ISO standard symbols which are used in pneumatic circuit. See, the ISO symbols, these are the standard symbol, fluid power symbols which are used for your hydraulic circuit also and pneumatic circuits. There are some many common symbols are there which are required in the both the systems. Okay, and during the unit number 2 we have discussed already ISO standard symbols, but during that lecture maybe some students have not attended that lecture. Okay, they may not able to judge or guess any symbol, okay, by looking or by seeing the any symbol. Some students are not able to get the what is that symbol or what is its function. Okay, so for that purpose today we'll take the uh, this point ISO symbols for hydraulic as well as pneumatic also. Okay, because the symbol which are used in both the cases are same. Okay, there are some somewhat a difference is there. Okay, that also will come to know through the symbol. Okay, and why I am focusing on this point, because see, your examination, university examination may be online only and MCQ based. So you should be able to give the proper answer for any symbol. Okay, for that purpose, that this is very essential to have the repetition on this IOC symbol. Getting it? And actually, this IOC symbol already I have taught it during the lecture, as well as at the start of the first practical of our subject. Also, in that also we have discussed the IOC symbols. Okay, but see, what are the PPTs I have shared during my lecture? In that PPT, I have taken some symbols. Okay, or all symbols from the that hydraulics and pneumatic. That is a book by the Ilyas Khan. Okay, so it was the black and white. But if you see the circuit diagram, Okay, whatever we have seen in the animation, there are some colorful symbols are used. Okay, the function purpose of each and every symbol. Okay, if you use the colorful or not, okay, no matter, but the purpose is same. Okay, so to cover this point and to get more knowledge, to get very interesting, to have the uh, interest for this, to get interest about this ISO symbol, I have selected some two, three videos. Okay, from the YouTube I have downloaded. Okay, and through and that videos are very short, but through that video we get the more knowledge in the different way. Okay, so we'll start that point. Okay, whether are you clear with the what I said? Whether everything is all okay, my video, audio, presentation, please reply me in the chat box. All of you, please reply me in the chat box. Why I am okay? I got. Thank you. So why I'm repeating this point? Because if you want to design or if you want to draw the any circuit, it may be hydraulic or pneumatic. So while designing or drawing that circuit, you will be able to have. You should have the knowledge of the each and every symbol or each and every that element of the system. Okay, and in the design or in the circuit diagram, there we are not taking the actual schematic diagram any part. Okay, for example, check one, we are not drawing the schematic diagram, we are showing the it's a standard ISO symbol. Okay, now so you should know the all the symbol. Many of you already attended my earlier lecture, but some students have not attended or maybe missed them. Okay, so for them also this lecture will be the repetition. Okay, so I will share the some videos. Okay, short videos are very interesting videos are there. Okay, one by one we'll go.
In this video, I explain you the various symbol used in hydraulics and pneumatic systems. In this video, I explain you the few of the symbols for the various types of the lines, various symbols of the hydraulic pump, various symbols of air compressors, various symbols of
Whether voice of video is it okay at your end? Voice of this video, whether it is okay?
actuators or a hydraulic motor, and the air motors, and the symbol
Already
of cylinders as well as the pressure relief valve. So here you see that it's few of the symbols that I explain you with the reasons how why this type is drawn and how to draw it in a various systems. So first we understand the various type of the line used in a hydraulics and pneumatic system. So first type of the line used, that is the continuous line, or this continuous line is drawn for a flow line. Okay, so this type of the continuous line is drawn. Here I show this image of the hydraulic system. Okay, if you study the hydraulic system, then you know that is the schematic diagram of the hydraulic system. Now here you see this is the various continuous line is drawn. Okay, so these various continuous line is indicate the flow line. So oil from the oil reservoir through supply to the pump through this pipe. Okay, and means oil is flowing, that's why we draw the continuous lines. So at that time we draw the continuous line for indicating the flow lines. Second is the dash line. It is also known as the pilot line or a drain lines. So this type of the dash line is used. Now what is the meaning of the drain? Drain means the water or other liquid in something, means the water relief valve. Okay, So I also explained at the last topic of this video is the various symbol of pressure relief valve. Okay, at that time I explained you this pressure relief valve. So here you see this dash line is indicate. Okay, so this I is indicate this is the input pipe and this is the output pipe. Okay, so some of the oil is taken from the input pipe and it is supplied to this side of the pressure relief valve. Okay, this arrow line is moving, it is a one type of the plate. Okay, so this line is the dash line is generally used to the pilot or a drain, means oil is taken from this side and supplied to somewhere else. It is called as the pilot or a drain. Third type line is the envelope, that is a long line and short dash line. So one line is long and second line is dash, long dash. It is called as the long and short dashes. Around the two or more component or a symbols, means this line is drawn when we represent the grouping of hydraulic component as a part of a compound component. Means suppose two or three components are placed and making the one component. At that time we cover these all the two or three components by using this type of the line, continuous and dash lines. Now before moving ahead, I request to like the video and subscribe the symbol of pump and compressors. So here you see first we study the symbol of various type of hydraulic pump. Then after we study the various symbol of the air compressors. Now, so you know that the various type of the pump is available. Okay. So here the first type is the unidirectional fixed displacement pump. Unidirectional means that is a oil or a air is flow in only one direction. That is called as the unidirectional and its displacement is the fixed. So when we drawing the symbol of pump or a compressor or for a motor, first we need to draw one circle. Okay. Inside this circle we draw the one triangle, that is a symmetric triangle. Okay. And in hydraulic pump, here you see that the triangle is filled by the blue color. Okay. In an exam you draw these symbols and fill this triangle by using the ball pen or a pencil by the black colors. Okay. Why this triangle is filled in? Because suppose we store the water in some container or a bottles, then we can identify, okay, this water is here. Okay, due to that reasons this triangle is filled in because the pump is generally used for a liquid or a oil. Okay. Now second one is the bidirectional fixed displacement pump. Now when the one directional is that, unidirectional is that, we draw the one triangles. But when the bidirectional is come, we need to draw the two triangles. Okay. So bidirectional means it is in two directions. So here we draw the two triangles. Then third one is the unidirectional variable displacement. So this is now this symbol, third symbol is compared with this first one. Okay. In a first unidirectional fixed. So this fixed word is replaced by the variable. Okay. But unidirectional and displacement are same. So first we draw the same symbol like as the first one. Okay, so when the variable displacement is come, we draw the one arrow line at the 45 degree from this symbol. Okay, so this arrow is exactly drawn at the 45. This arrow is indicate the variable displacement. So in any symbol variable displacement word is come, you need to draw the one line arrow line at the 45 degree. Okay, next one is the bidirectional variable displacement. So we just copy this symbol of the bidirectional fixed displacement. Bidirectional means two directional. So that wise we draw the two triangles and it is the variable displacement. Then variable word is come, then what we need to draw? We need to draw one arrow line at the 45 degree. Okay. So these are the generally four type of the hydraulic pump that are mentioned into the hydraulic circuits. Okay. Now in a pneumatic system, we use the air compressor. Okay. So in a air compressor, the same symbol is used. Suppose the first type of the air compressor is unidirectional fixed displacement air compressor. Then what we do? We draw the same symbol like the pump, but these triangle are empty. Why triangle are empty? Because we store the air in some place or some vessels. We are not able to, okay, that air is there. Air is everywhere. Okay. So these triangle are empty. Similarly in bidirectional fixed displacement, we draw the two empty triangle. Okay. Next type is the unidirectional variable displacement. So it is same as the first case. variable displacement word is come, we need to just draw the one line at the 45 degree. Okay. Next one is the bidirectional variable displacement, means two directional, we need to draw two triangles. Then after we draw the one arrow line. Why we need to draw arrow lines? Because it is at the variable displacement. So when the variable displacement word is come, we need to draw one arrow line at the 45 degree. Now, next we understand the symbol of hydraulic motors and pneumatic motors. Now here first you need to clear what is the functions of hydraulic pump. Here we mentioned the hydraulic pump, here we mentioned the air compressor. Okay, so in a pump the mechanical energy is converted in hydraulic energy. In air compressor the mechanical energy is converted into pneumatic energy. But when the motor word is come, then what happen? Hydraulic energy is converted into mechanical energy. So this hydraulic motor is also known as the hydraulic actuators. Okay, and the air motor is also known as the air actuators. So hydraulic motor is used in hydraulic system, air motor is used into the pneumatic systems. Okay, in which hydraulic and pneumatic energy is converted into the mechanical energy. Now it have the same four type, that is a unidirectional fixed displacement. Okay.
Whether are you getting the meaning of all the symbols? Okay. Please reply me. Whether are you getting meaning of all the symbols, the standard symbols? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Means one directional and a fixed displacement. Now for that we also need to draw the one circle, and inside the circle we draw the one triangle. Now in a hydraulic pump we also draw one triangle. Okay, here you see in hydraulic pump we draw the triangle, that is a regular symmetric triangles. Now when the motor word is come, we need to flip the symmetric triangle to the 180 degree. Okay, so we draw this triangle 180 degree, we flip this triangle 180 degree, so we get these symbols. Okay, so it is the symbol of hydraulic motor, and here the symbol of hydraulic pump. Similarly in a air motor we also flip this triangle to the 180 degree. Okay, so it is have the same symbol. So for a bidirectional fixed displacement, draw the circle, draw the two triangles, but in a reverse directions compared to the hydraulic motor. Similarly for unidirectional variable displacement pump. So unidirectional variable displacement pump, we copy this first symbol, variable displacement word is come, we draw the one arrow line at the 45 degree. Okay, next one is bidirectional variable displacement pump, we draw the one circles. Inside the circle how many triangle we need to draw? Two triangle. Why? Because it is the bidirectionals. So we draw the two triangles, and here the variable displacement word is come, so you need to draw one arrow line at the 45 degree. Now similarly for the air motor. Okay, so air motor is there, when the air is come the triangle is empty. Okay, in a air compressor the symmetric triangle is in regular shape. In a air motor the triangle is flipped to the 180 degree. Now next one is the bidirectional fixed displacement air motor. First we draw the circle, and inside the circle we mentioned the two triangle. Why these two triangle? Because of the it is the bidirectional fixed displacement pump. Third one is the unidirectional variable displacement. Unidirectional means we need to draw one triangle. For variable displacement we draw the one line at the 45 degree, that is the arrow line. And the next one is the bidirectional variable displacement. Bidirectional means we need to draw two triangles, and the triangles are the flip to the 180 degree, and we draw the one arrow line at the 45 degree. Now more video or more symbol is making in a different video, because this video are too long. If I
Okay, so in the part one, just symbols of the line, okay, which are the different lines which are used in the hydraulics and pneumatics. Then we have gone for the pump, compressor, and the motor. Okay, now let us go for the symbols which are used for the cylinder and the pressure relief valve. Then we'll go for the direction control valve, and at last we'll go for the flow control valve. Okay.
In this video, I explain the various symbols used in hydraulic. In this video,
Just a minute.
This video, I explain the symbol used in hydraulics and pneumatic system. Here part 2 is written because in this video I explain you the various type of the symbols for a cylinders as well as for the pressure relief valves. In a first video I explained the various symbols of hydraulic motors, hydraulic pump, air compressors and the various types of the lines. And in this video I go through the various types of the cylinders and the pressure relief valve. So first we understand the symbol of cylinder, and there is a various type of the cylinders. Now the first type for the cylinder is single acting cylinders. Okay, for the cylinder first we need to draw one rectangle. Okay, so also in a single acting cylinder there is a two type. One is the spring return type and second one is the gravity type. Okay, so cylinder is drawn as a rectangle. Okay, because when the cylinder is there and we see from the front view, then we are see the one rectangle, and when we watch it from the side view, okay, at that time the cylinder is look the circulars. Now what is the meaning of single acting? Single acting means the oil or air is only one side of the piston. Okay, so this is the rectangle is cylinder, this is a piston, so only one side of the piston the working substance is that. Okay, so in hydraulic system use, then the oil is only one side of the piston. In pneumatic system we use, then the air is only on the one side of the piston. It is called as the single acting cylinder. And here it is a spring return, means when the single acting is there, okay, means when the in a double acting what happen, both the side oil and air are is there, so it's continuously reciprocates. But when the single acting is there, then we need to provide some mechanisms to return back. Okay, so in a spring return type, here the spring is used to return it to the original positions. So this is the spring and this is the connecting rod, and this two blue line is the port. Okay, from
please do remember one thing, that what are the symbols which are used, or what are the types of the control valves are there, na? That means the direction control valve, pressure control valve, then flow control. So all the types of the valves are common for the both hydraulic as well as pneumatic. Okay, so symbols are also common to both hydraulic system and pneumatic system. Okay, because single acting cylinder we have seen in the our unit number 1, that hydraulic actuator, and this is a single acting cylinder. It is a hydraulic, it is a linear actuator. So in pneumatic also we will have the same type. Okay, it's a working, it's operation, everything is same. Okay, so please remember this point also.
which the liquid is supplied. Okay, so from this side the liquid or a fluid is supplied, and another side it is the exit. Second one is the gravity return type. Gravity return type means it is naturally coming downward directions due to the gravitational force. So when the gravity type is come, so in a horizontal cylinder gravity return is not possible. Okay, so in a gravity return type we need to draw the cylinder in a vertical directions. So here you see the cylinder is in vertical directions. So due to the pressure of compressed air or a compressed oil, the piston is moving upward directions. Okay, and they are naturally moving into this downward direction. When the oil is removed from this cylinder, it is called as the gravity return type. Next one is the double acting cylinder. Double acting cylinder means on the both the side of the piston, oil or a compressed air are supplied. It is called as the double acting. So first we draw one rectangle for the cylinders. This is the inlet as well as the exhaust port, because the liquid is also enter from this port and also exit from this port. Similarly on this side, this is also a port. So they supplied the oil or a gas, or they remove the oil as well as the gas. Okay, in hydraulic system we use the oil, in pneumatic system we use the gas. Okay, and it is a single rod N type. Single rod N type means only one single connecting rod is used. It is called as the single rod N type, or it is also called as the piston rods. Okay, so when this piston is moving from left to right side, okay, when it is moving from left to right side, so oil is supplied from this port, okay, and the what amount of the oil present on the right side of the pistons are removed from this port. Okay, similarly when this piston is moved from this right end to left end, this side, then the oil is supplied from this port and exhaust from this point. Next one is the double rod N type, means two rods are provided, means on the both the side of the piston the rod is provided. It is called as the double rod N type. Next one is the rotating cylinders, means the cylinder are rotated. So we draw the one horizontal cylinders, pistons and the connecting rod, and we draw the rotational symbols. That means the cylinders are rotating. And the next one is the cylinder with cushioning. For that, this type of the symbol is drawn. This is the cylinders, pistons, and these are the cushioning, means it's reduce the impact. Okay, for that the two another square is provided with these rectangles, and one arrow is drawn with this piston. It is the symbol for cylinder with cushioning. Now before moving ahead, I request to like the video and subscribe my channel. By mistake here D is written instance of the F. Use the pressure control valve to relieve the subject of the mechanical and pneumatic system. We use the pressure control valve to relieve the pressure or reduce the pressures. Okay, so it is the pressure relief valve. By mistake here D is written instance of the F, so it is the pressure relief valve. Okay, so every pressure relief valve, pressure reducing valves is first thing is to draw the one square. Okay, so here you see that is a one square is drawn. Okay, now with this square we need to supply the input and output to the valve. Okay, so here this line is indicate the input, means it is a one pipe connection is there, it is the input, and on the another side it is the output is there. And this output coming means, suppose we use in hydraulic system, then oil is coming out from this valve, sorry, this pipe, then it is supplied into this reservoir tank. Then this dash line is drawn. Okay, later on I explain you what is this meaning of this dash line. So dash line is generally drawn for indicate the drain or a payload, that we understand in this first video. Okay, then after we draw one arrow line, so I later explain this is the spring, and with this spring arrow is drawn. So this is the symbol of the pressure relief valve. Okay, now here we understand the everything in this pressure relief valve. So here you see this arrow is moving left and right, okay, according to this pressure. So this input is generally coming from the pump. Here the schematic diagram of the hydraulic symbols. Okay, so this is the input of the pressure relief valve, this is the output, and this is the inside mechanism. Okay, and here this dash line is drawn. A dash line from the pressurized lines to the top of the symbol is represent the pilot or a drain. Okay, means some of the liquid is taken from this input pipe and it is supplied to this pressure relief valve. Okay, and according to this pressure this arrow is moving. Okay, so naturally when this arrow is on the not in this line, okay, means not in alignment, at that time the valve is closed, and the valve is closed due to this spring pressure. Okay, according to this spring pressure we are set the spring pressure. Okay, according to this requirement of pressure we adjust the tension of the spring, and we are able to adjust the pressure of the inside the cylinder. The arrow through the spring symbolize the spring is adjustable, means this arrow at the 45 degrees indicate the spring is adjustable. So when we adjust the spring, its tension is changed, and according to this tension we are adjust this arrow line position or arrow plate positions, and the pressure setting of the valve is adjustable. Now this moving arrow is indicate the represent the flow part. Okay, so suppose this is that, then the no fluid is supply, okay, on this left side axis. when it is on this right side of this input and output pipe, then the flow is supplied from this to this outlet portion. Okay. The flow part arrow is not in alignment with the ports. Means when this arrow is not in line with this input and output pipe, at that time the valve is closed. Okay. And when this arrow line is on the right side or a left side, it's the working positions. Okay. Now when the pressure is increased, okay, so for initial position this arrow is on the left side. Okay. And when the pressure is
one small request from my side, well, just give me confirmation message from your side that whether these videos are useful for you or not. Okay, actually we have already gone through this all symbols, okay, during the our control walls, okay, during that topic. Okay, just for the repetition and for the similar refreshment of these all symbols. Okay, because as per the university examination point of view, the symbols are very useful. Okay, and in further for designing any system, fluid power system, it may be hydraulic or pneumatic, you should be able to design circuit or draw circuit, and for that purpose these symbols are very useful. And why I have selected this video, because through this video we are getting knowledge, okay, in through the other aspect point of, okay. So whether it is useful for you all, just give me a message. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
is increased, the oil is entered from this dash line to this side, and this arrow is moving, or some plate inside that is moving, and the oil is going into this outlet pipe. Okay, so this is the working of the pressure relief valve. Now next we understand another type of the valve. So here you see that is a sequence valve with reverse free flow. So its symbol is same like as the pressure relief valve, that is only one choke valve is provided. Reverse free flow means reverse free flow is possible by providing the choke valve. Okay, so another thing is same, spring, arrow line, arrow, this direction means here the input is there and here is the output is there. Okay, so it's just rotate the symbol, you not need to confuse. Okay, you see the different book and different type of symbol is provided, but only direction is changed. Some book is horizontal provided, some vertical provided, some book they rotate the 90 degree. Okay, a sequence valve symbol is the same as the relief valve, but with an external drains. Okay, what is the meaning of external drain and internal drain? Okay, I hear you. So internal means this drain is come here and this drain is supplied to this pressure relief valve, it is called as internal. Now in external what happen, they take the one drain line here, draw. Okay, you see this cursor here. Okay, suppose we draw the dash line from this side and it is supplied at here, then it is called as the external drain. Okay, and the reverse free flow means the oil is reverse flowed from input to the output directly through this choke valve. Next one is this pressure reducing valve. Okay, the pressure reducing valve is the normally open pressure control valve. Okay, so only one valve, that is a pressure reducing valve, in which it is normally open. Okay, normally open means here you see this is the input pipe I, this is the output O, and this arrow is indeed lined with the I and O pipe. Okay, in earlier what we studied, then are in alignment, at that time they close. Okay, so here in this line at that time the oil is supplied directly to this output. It is used to reduce the pressure in a portion of the system, means it is used in a hydraulic or pneumatic system to control the pressure of the certain portions of the system. It has no internal pilot, means from the input pipe that the oil is or air is not supplied to this pressure reducing valve. Okay, but in this case no internal pilot is there, but here you see this is a dash line. This dash line is indicate it is the external port. So oil or air is taken from this pressure reducing valve and it is supplied to the output. Okay, so when we supply to this output, it is called as the external drain is provided. When the outlet pressure gets high enough, then the valve is closed. So outlet pressure is achieved constant At that time the valve is closed. Next one is the unloading valve. From its name we understand what is the meaning of unloading. Unloading means sometime we need to empty the something, it is called as the unloading. Okay, so here I explain you. Unloading valve symbol is same as the relief valve, but it has the external pilot, means external drain. Okay, so here you see it is the same, that is a input, square, arrow, output, spring loaded, but one external drain is provided. Okay, in a unloading valve. Why external port is provided? Because of the emptying the pump. So unloading valve is used to unload a pump at the low pressure. Okay, so when the low pressure is achieved in the pump, at that time we need to empty the pump. It is called as the unload of a pump. Next one is the counterbalance valve. So what you understand from the counterbalance? We need to balance some unforce. It is called as the counterbalance. Okay, so counterbalance valve symbol is same as the relief valve with a check valve. So its symbol is also same as relief valve, but we need to provide one check valve. Okay, so this symbol is just rotated at the incline angle. Okay, but its function is same. Here it is input pipe, square, one arrow, output, and this is the spring tensions and the arrow. Okay, and some oil is drained or a pilot from the inlet pipe to that. Okay, and here one inlet and outlet pipe is connected by using this choke valve. Okay, so just provide the choke valve in a pressure relief valve, then it is converted into the counterbalance valve. The counterbalance valve is used to hold a load from a falling, means they are avoid to the load to falling. It is called as the counterbalance valve. So thank you for watching this video. If you understand and like the video, subscribe the.
Okay, this is about the pressure cylinders, actuators, and pressure relief valve. Okay, now let us go for direction control.
In this video, I explain the various symbols used in hydraulic and pneumatic systems. It is my third video. In earlier video, I explained the different types of the symbols. In this video, I explained the symbols related to the directional control valve, and I explain on such a way that you can easily understand. Okay, so watch the video up to the end to clear your basic concepts related to the directional control valves, how it is connected with this different component, and how the liquid is supplied or oil is supplied from the one port to the another port or to the actuators. Okay, so here you see these various symbols. Now the first is the check valve. Okay, so check valve symbol is drawn like that. First you need to draw one circle, then two inclined lines and two horizontal lines. One horizontal line is indicate input, second horizontal line is the called output. Now what is the meaning of check valve? Check valve normally allows fluid means either it is a liquid or a gas, to flow through it in normally one directionals. Okay, so they are one way valve. Check valve is only one way, means the liquid or a fluid is only flow from one side to another side. Reverse directional is not possible. So this is the symbol of check valve. Next is the 2x2 valve. Okay, now what is the meaning of 2x2? First we understand that. Okay, then we move towards the symbol. First digit is indicate the number of port. Now what is the meaning of port? Port means it supplied the oil or a gas, means fluid from one side to another side. Okay, so it's like as the valve, so it is called as the port here. Okay, so port is supplied the fluid. First digit is indicate number of port, and the second digit is indicate number of positions. Number of position means in a directional control valve the two position is possible, because here the 2 is written. Okay, so 2 position is possible, it is called as the 2, and first digit is indicate the port. Now that is a 2 position is there, so we need to draw 2 square. Okay, so first we draw the 1 square. Okay, first we understand what are the ports are labeled as a P, T, A, B. Okay, so generally 4 port system is used. Okay, so at that time the 4th port is different. P means pressure port. So oil or a fluid coming from the pump or a compressor, this port is labeled as the P. And at the return line it is denoted T, means tank, and A and B are the different sides of the actuators. So here we draw the 2 square. So 2x2 valve has the two ports. One is inlet port, second one is the outlet, and the two positions. Means one position is used for the open the system and second position is used to close the system.
Whether a video's screen, that video is clearly visible to you all? But I think at my end it is somewhat showing blur. Whether same problem is happening with you? Whether video is clearly visible to you all? Please give me confirmation message. Visible, okay. Other students, please reply me. Okay, Pramod is saying visible. All are requested to please. Okay, invisible, yes, sir, visible. Maybe I think with maybe due to visible but little blurry. Okay, okay. Wait, just what I will instead of sharing full screen, I will share the window. Okay, just we'll see what I'm. Okay, wait. Just a minute.
So this is the first square, and this arrow is indicate that here the port is P. Okay, why it is P? Because the oil or a fluid is coming from pump or compressor. It is our port P, and this is the port A. Okay, so A side it is supplied to the actuators. This is the one positions. Okay, for second positions we need to draw second square. Okay, and the second position is for a close. So this symbol is clearly for close positions. Okay, so it is also the P port and this is A port. Okay, this is only a 2 port because again here it is written as the 2. Now the next one is the 3x2 ports. Now later on I explain you how this symbol is working on the hydraulic systems. Okay, so watch the video and continue with this video. 3x2 way valve has the 3 ports. One is the inlet, another is the outlet, and one port is more. And second digit is 2. 2 is indicate the two positions. One is used for open the system, second one position is used to close the system. Now the 2 position is there, so we draw the 2 square. Okay, and the 3 port means 3 port is provided in every positions. Okay, now there is a totally 6 port. So in a one position 3 port is there. So here the oil is enter in P port, it is supplied to the A port. And this another one that is a T port, it is right now with the close positions. Now this is the second positions. In the second positions, oil is returns from the actuators, means here the port A to the port T, and the P port is the close. Okay, now here the 3 port is that, so its name is the P, T and A. This is the pressure port, it is the tank port, and here the A port is there. Suppose it is a 4 and here the B port is provided. Okay, so I hope you can clear about this number of ports. Now here you already clear your concept by the 4x2 valve. That is a 4 port, P, T, A and B, and the 2 position is possible. So for 2 positions we need to draw the 2 square, and in a 1 square 4 port is provided. Okay, so in a 2 positions that is total 8 port is there. So first we draw the 1 square. Inside that we indicate the 4 port. One is the pressure port and the second one is the tank port and A and B port. Now here the oil is enter from the P port and supplied it to the A port. Okay, and here from the B port the oil is supplied to the T port, means from this here T port the oil is again back to the reservoirs. Okay, in second positions the oil is supplied from the P port to the B port, and the oil is returns from the A port to the T ports. Okay, so it is used in generally in a double acting actuators. Okay, double acting means the oil is supplied on the both side of the pistons. It is called as the double acting. Now the next one is the 4x3 valve. 4x3 means that is the 3 positions are possible and 4 port are there. So here you see that is the first positions, this is the second positions, and this is the third positions. Okay, and inside every position 4 port is there. Okay, in a 4 that oil is supplied from P to A port, here B to T. Now I put the second mid position empty because in a mid positions number of variation is there that I explain you later on. Now here oil is in a third position, oil is supplied from P to B and it is returned back from the A to T. Okay, so I hope you cleared this concept. Now the mid positions, what are the possibilities of the hydraulic or a pneumatic systems? Now first one is the open center. Okay, so here we understand mid positions means only on the mid position ports. Okay, first positions and the third positions are not we explain, we just focus on the mid positions. Now first position is the open center. Okay, so first we draw the square by default. Open center means all the 4 ports are connected with the each other. It is called as the open position. So here P port, it is T port, A port and B port. Okay, they are connected with each others by using this horizontal pipe. Okay, so when we use in 3 positions, so first and the third position already explained. Now we only focus on the mid positions. Now it is used most commonly in a hydraulic motors. All the ports are connected to one another. So here you see all the ports are connected with each other. So it's look like the H symbols. Okay. In a center position, the hydraulic motor is allowed to freewheel. Means it is the freely rotate the actuators. Now here you see at the when the one position is that in this hydraulic system which have the 4 port and the 3 positions. Okay, so now in a first positions the oil coming from the port P or from the pump, it's supplied to the port A, port P, and port P2 it is supplied to the A, and then after oil is supplied on the left side of the actuators, and the oil present on the right side is go to the back in the reservoir from the port B to port T, so it is going the reservoirs. Okay, now when we change these positions to the mid positions, okay, so what we see, all the ports are connected with each other. P, A, B, T are connected with each other, so oil is supplying in any directionals. Now when we on the third positions, at that time what happen, the oil coming from the pump is supplied to P port. From the P port oil is going in B port, then after B side of the actuators, so this piston is moving from the right side to the left side. Okay, and the oil present in the left side of this piston is supplied to this port A, and from port A to it is going in the port T, and it is going into this reservoir. So I hope you can clear your concepts. Okay, now this directional control valve is operated by using the different system that we also study in this video. For that be connected with this video. Now second one is the closed center. In open center what we study, all the ports are connected. Now in a closed center, from the name we can understand all the ports are the closed. Okay, so sometime we need to close the hydraulic systems. Okay, so we put on these mid positions. At that time all the ports are the closed. Okay, for the closings we need to draw like the T symbols. Now this is the 3 positions. In mid position all the ports are the closed. So this block all the, since the pressure port is blocked. Okay, so pressure block is blocked, but the oil is continuously coming from the pump, then it is again supplied to the tank from the pressure relief valve. That's why the pressure relief valve is the more important. So pressure built in the line until it dumps through the relief valve. Now the third one is the tandem centers. Now in tandem centers, the symbol of tandem centers are drawn here. The oil enter from the P port is again supplied to the T port, means P and T port are connected with each other. So actuator positions are blocked because the oil is not supplied to the actuators. So our final output are the stop. So here A and B port are the close. So here you see this is the mid positions during the tandem centers. The actuator is blocked in the positions because the oil is not supplied from the P pot to A and B. It is again back to the reservoir from the T pots. The oil flow freely from the P to T pots. Okay. So now generally this pot means they inside this directional control valve the pipe is provided, or it is the solid, then the hole are provided according to directions. Okay, when A position, then there is a one pipe in a straight direction provided. In 3 positions they provide the inclined pipes, so they connect to the different pipe. So I hope you cleared about the constructions of the directional control valve. Now the fourth one is the regenerative center. In a regenerative centers, the pot P are connected with both A and B. Okay, so here you see oil enter from the P is either supplied to A and B, and the T pot is the block. Okay, so here you see this is the mid positions during the regenerative centers. Next one is the float center. In a float centers, the pressure pot is the close, means oil is not supplied to the actuators. So actuator is also not working during the float center positions. Okay, but the T pot is connected with A and B, means it is generally used to empty the actuators, means the oil in actuator is coming back to the tank or a T pots from the A and B valve. So this is the float chamber, all these 3 positions. The A and B pots are connected to the tank and the pressure pot is the block. The pressure built in a line, it dumps through the relief valve. So when the pot P is closed, some pressure is created because the pump is continuously working and it supplied the oil to the P pots. So this pressure is reduced by using the pressure relief valve. Next one is the 5/2 valve. So that is a 2 position is there and 5 pot are there. So we draw these 2 positions by using the drawing 2 square. In every square we draw the 5 pots. Okay, that is a B, P, T and one another pot, that is a closed condition. Okay. Now next, how to operations of the control valve is carried out. So there are different options to operate the directional control valve that we studying here. So with this directional control valve, means this is the directional control valve. With this we draw the various types of the symbol. Okay, so this symbol is indicate how the directional control valve is the operated. Now here you see first one is the detention type. So here one pinion type shape is drawn. Okay, means it is operated by detention type mechanism. Second one is the spring returns. So it's automatically return due to the spring tension. So here the spring is drawn. Next one is the hand lever operated, means it is operated by the human hand. It is called as the hand lever operated. So this is the symbol of the hand lever operated. This C type.
So these all methods of operation or methods of actuation you can call. Okay, for the control. If you want to actuate if you want to start or if you want to operate any control valve, so these are the different types of the actuation mechanism we can call. In that manual or mechanical is there. One is the electrical, that is solenoid valve. Okay, that pilot operated. So this also we have discussed. Okay, but as a repetition, as just a brush up or recap, so, we are discussing this one. Please listen.
Type symbol is indicating directional control valve. So every type it is not drawn. Okay, in an exam if you go to draw all this symbol, so it is difficult. So we just draw this type of the symbol. Next one is, so it is the palm button operated type. Another is the foot pedal operated, means it is operated by our leg. So here you see the symbol like as the accelerators or a clutch provided in our 4-wheel or a car. Next one is the roller cam operated. So it is operated by using the cam mechanisms. And next one is the piloted operated or a pilot operated, means the oil is taken from the systems and it is operated by using the oil. That's why here the dotted line is indicated, means dash line is drawn. Another type is the solenoid operated, means the directional control valve is operated by using the solenoid valve. Okay, and next one is the hydraulic power bank. So it is used or operated by using the hydraulic power, means the oil are coming from the pump. It is used to operate the hydraulic, means hydraulic energy of the oil is used to operate the directional control valve. And this symbol you already wrote, that is the pilot line, it's a dash line. Working pipeline is continuous, and this is the symbol of reservoir in which the oil are stored. So thank you for watching this video. If you learned and liked the
okay, so these are the symbols related to the direction control. Now there are some symbols remaining, okay, which are required to show flow control. Okay, so that part we'll discuss in the next lecture. Okay, so thank you very much. Please write on your roll number in the chat box, okay, as your attendance. We'll meet once again today at 3:30 p.m. Okay, and that time we'll cover that flow control symbols. All are request to write your roll number in the chat box, and after writing your roll number in the chat box, you can leave this meeting.